Good afternoon. This is Thursday, evening prayer reflection, July 9th, and my scriptures are Psalm 18 and then Deuteronomy chapter 3. Psalm 18 verse 6 says, I called upon the Lord in my distress and cried out to my God for help. Verse 12 says, He wrapped darkness about him and made dark waters and thick clouds in pavilion. Verse 18 says, He delivered me from my strong enemies and from those who hated me, for they were too mighty for me. If you have been in a situation where you felt that you were not in control, a distressful situation, the first thing that most people think about is to think of plan B. And if plan B doesn't work, then they think of plan C. And if all plans fail, we proceed to call out to God in desperation. Now, we should think of God first. Either the situation is developing or you're still starting to plan something out, we should involve God first. The psalmist said, I called upon the Lord and cried out for help. It sounds to me like it was already an emergency situation. And I wonder, when are we really motivated to cry out to God? Is it when all else started to fail? Or there is no indication that the psalmist has tried everything else? From the verse 1, it seems that he's trying to tell God, you are my God. You when you thunder in heaven, it is mighty, and it's trying to praise God, how God is great. So there wasn't any indication that he started to try his own way and then ask God first. When we got to God, we should begin telling God how we have confidence that he is a powerful God, that he would be able to handle our situation, or any situation for that matter. That having faith means walking with God from the very beginning, even before situations turn into emergencies. We should involve God in our thinking, in our planning, not just when things start to go haywire. God delights when we talk to him about our situations. Verse 12 says, He wrapped darkness about him. This is surprising. It seems to suggest that God can hide from us and be successful at it, especially when we are in distress. And here is my reasoning. If darkness is a tool for God, his use of it should probably have a purpose. Maybe to teach us. I hear that when birds teach their young to fly, they have to pick them out, they have to kick them out of the nest so that they can fly. It really sounds awful, but they are built to withstand the fall, and they have to do what God has made them for, to fly. Parents know that they are ready. That's why they do that. We also might not enjoy it, but it certainly benefits us in the same way that a doctor sometimes would have to do an injection, in that way hurting you, in order to heal you. Also, we learn from other animals' youngs that they have to master the art of hiding to avoid predators. Well, maybe you could say I'm far-fetched a little bit, but they have to stay still. They have to stay still so they can survive. But all these examples tell me that if God hides with darkness about him and thick clouds, there must be a purpose that is ultimately good for us. Maybe it is hiding, he's hiding so we can learn to walk by faith without thinking or feeling like God is holding our hands. If God is not holding our hands, if we are on our own, if we are in those distressful situations, just like an animal the parent had to go out to get food, but they are young, have to stay in the same place. They have to survive until parents come back. I am convinced that when we are stuck in hopeless and stressful situations, it appears to us as if God is not present. Is he hiding? Maybe. Why? To teach us to walk by faith without him holding our hands, maybe? Knowing that walking in this world presents countless challenges, so we need to learn to navigate these challenges by faith and waiting patiently and trusting God. Maybe the waiting will be a trial for many of us, but God intends to deliver us because he loves us. I love the verse 20. It says, he brought me out in the open places and he rescued me because he delights in me. Who knows? He wants you to realize that he is your God, that he cares for you, that delivering you, it delights him that you would call upon him, that you would count him, that he is your Lord, that he can deliver you. Now, to our Old Testament lesson. We heard what happened between Moses and God. We know that they had a close relationship that spanned over 40 years, and the nation of Israel depended upon it. Is this kind of relationship that you have with God? And I wonder, how intense is my relationship with God? That was an intense relationship. It was scary sometimes when you read everything that happened. Families were killed because they disobeyed. There was trust, there was tears, there was anger, there was rescue, you name it. They experienced it all. Whereas there are many things in our lives we are grateful for, that God has put in our place, for how God has rescued us in many ways, for how God protected our families, how everything that is in our lives is because God allowed this stability that we have to be in our lives. So we have so much to be grateful for. But there are also things that we may not be proud of. Is there? And if not, let's go back into our teenage years. Again, is there things we are not proud? I'm pretty sure many of us would find some. So could it be that Moses had also that he knew he's not proud of? Whatever it was, God was not pleased. And as a result, Moses was told by God in previous chapters that he would see the promised land with his eyes, but he would not put his feet into it. God was serious about that. We learn this in this passage, that so many lessons to learn. Trust God, whoever you are, or whatever position you hold, wherever God has placed you. Trust God. Be patient. Let God work out everything in his own timing. But be patient and have faith. Know that your God is a powerful God. Tell God at every opportunity that you can how powerful you know, and you know that he is. Be blessed. Thank you.